Well, it looks like the West Coast is riding with the West Coast, and it seemed like the whole West Coast, West Side, West is packing up game after that diss track and those disses on the albums. Let's get right to it because we got a lot to talk about.
So now let's see, man. I'm hearing.
This is Mac Wappa, by the way. Shout out to Mac Wap TDE.
So now let's see, man. I'm hearing Game dissing a homie. Hey, Game, you already know what time it is, bro. You better stop it. You better stop it, bro. Because our Compton and your Compton not the same Compton.
Damn.
You know that.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? So relax with all that. If you trying to play with the homie name, don't do that.
He is.
We both know not to. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? You're not him, bro.
Don't like
Straight up. You're not him. Yeah, no, that's a fact. Game, you not him, bro. You know that. We all know that. So chill out if you playing with the homie.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. That you not him is gonna cut Game deep. Probably worse than most of the other stuff. But hold on.
That so chill out if you playing with the homie.
Now this is we got to talk about this if thing because I don't know. There's a conspiracy going on, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see it place. Remember, I called that niggas was gonna try to play with our intelligence. Remember that? Remember I said that? I called it. But this is starting to get to conspiracy theory levels of gaslighting, and we gonna talk about it. It's starting to get to a point where I go, oh, y'all think we dumb. Like, y'all think we the dumbest of dumb. Like, you could just tinkle on our leg and be like, nah, that's rain. Just back your whole swipe out. No, that's rain. Oh, nah, we're not doing that today. But hold on.
If you playing with the homie.
There is no if, but like.
Straight like that. He already, what's his
like
content?
they're trying to give him a little bit more bail. Like, hey.
Not ours. Game is a respect the game, bro. Respect the game, but his Compton not our Compton, man. He ain't the Compton like real Compton is, bro. That's how I feel right now. If you gonna bash my, I gotta get at you like that. Like, honestly, yo Compton not like where we come from in Compton, bro. You wasn't in the field like that. Stop acting like that. You an acting fool. Straight up. Like, stop playing games about because we keeping the city at ease with you right now. Stop playing. If you play with.
So this is what it seems like too, and I want to talk about this. But before we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 5:00 Eastern, the Hip Hop is a Sports Tournament cracks off. It's the kickoff. Day one, I'm going to have my whole referee uniform. I'm going to have my whistle, my hat, the flags. Today is the first day that we see who is going to get a step closer to that prize money. That started out with $1,000 and now $1,400. And it's still going to go up. Yeah. And if you win, I will react to any one of your songs you choose. Doesn't even have to be the song you submitted. Tonight, today, that is 2:00 West Coast time, Pacific, and 5:00 Eastern time. Tune in. This is the most hype hip-hop tournament online. You do not want to miss this. It's going to be a journey, and you will be deciding. It won't be me. It'll be the chat. So all you got to do to have a vote is pull up in the chat. Let's go. Okay, so thank y'all for tuning in. And I got that battle with Easy to Block October 10th and Kid Slade, Battle of the Year, October 10th. Going to be in New York. If you aren't in the New York area and you want to get the pay-per-view, go to guttacity.com, get you a ticket or the pay-per-view right there. So I want to talk about this if thing because I've seen a couple people now where it seems as if people keep acting like on different degrees of acting like we're not hearing what we're hearing. right? Now, with Mac Watt, what he said at the end, because he keeps saying if, I think he knows what's going on, but it's the whole, we trying to keep the city in certain situations, right? And I think that he feels like this could go to a different place because Game ain't Drake. This ain't that, right? And even with that got, you know what I mean? That ain't that, right? Here's the thing that I'm hating, though. There are some people who are still coming out and being like, man, I don't know if Game dissing Kendrick for real. And I go, okay, that's what we not going to do. If y'all going, before we jump, just say before we jump out the window, we got to know this is real. Like, this is a real battle. And at the same time, what I hate about hip-hop is it doesn't have to be real. It doesn't have to be real street shit. Like, that's the problem with the culture. You understand me? That's why niggas end up with Ricos. That's why niggas end up in jail, dead. Can we, y'all could just do the battle. Seem like Game just wants to battle Kendrick. That's all, right? Now, and we gonna talk about the Game too later on, but this whole trying to tell us Game isn't dissing Kendrick, he is, all right? The song that he did with Drake, No Breaks, is a shot. What he's saying in that song, like, this lyrical comprehension is starting to piss me off. So let me just tell you, what Game is saying, Game is a rapper, a rapper's rapper, great rapper. He can rap very well. What Game is doing in that is saying, Nana Nana Boo Boo, I chose sides, I'm riding with Drake. The whole song is about riding with Drake. Yes, he's saying Drake in two ways, as in the Draco and Drake the rapper, but that's the clever part. He is saying, I chose a side. They asked me to choose a side. I chose homicide. So what he's saying is, I choose violence. That's what he's saying. And when you put that with the context of all the stuff he said about Kendrick and stuff before, then you put in context. And another easy thing is, when Game says, me and the boogeyman ain't got no problems, for some reason, that's what the people who want to push the narrative that, no, you're not seeing anything, are going to point out. And then not point out the part where he said, I had to not drive the GNX because it was scaring the hoes. Are y'all serious, bro? And y'all still gonna be like, I don't know if he dissing. He's dissing him. He's dissing him. At this point, it's just what y'all want to do about it. Kendrick don't have to respond, but y'all acting like he's not dissing is the thing that's throwing me off. So it gets worse, right? So Game has came out and did, you know what? I'm gonna save this because let's first right here, which is Smack a TDE and T-Rail. I don't know why my brain fart right there. And they're kind of talking about
now
it too.
Game, no, you don't like him. Don't see it. Yeah.
I want to hear Smack TDE's reaction.
You don't know you don't like him. Come on,
Shout out to
bro.
Community.
We was all in here. Yeah. He texted to me. He texted to me.
Okay, hold on.
Text him right now and tell him I said what's up.
Nah. He don't fuck with you.
Tell him I said what's up.
He said he don't fuck with you.
Now Smack is TDE. I think that's TDE tatted on his face. He was in Schoolboy Num Num Juice. He was in, I'm pretty sure, the Kendrick DNA music video. He TDE to the fullest, official.
He don't mess with you, homie.
Fuck with me though. He know I'm just fucking.
Nah, he don't mess with you, bro.
Why? I ain't did nothing.
You like his new song?
Huh?
All right, so this is the part I wanted. You heard it, nigga. This is Smack's reaction to the new song with Drake.
Do you like his new song?
I heard it. What's up, twin?
Do you like his new song?
No, I don't.
Why you don't like his song?
Because I think it's some sneak dissing going on.
You think
Niggas
it's
asked
sneak
me to
dissing?
choose sides. I chose death, whatever. I chose to kill, whatever.
Smack, you not, trust me, they're going to try to gaslight you. You're not crazy. We all heard the same thing. He was dissing. You're not crazy. They're going to try to act, yes. You say, I think there's some sneak diss, and there was. There absolutely. We've just gotten to a part in hip-hop now where lyrics can just mean nothing. Like where a rapper can literally go, man, you know that other rapper from Compton, I think he garbage. You know the short one who got the album To Pimp a Butterfly, and then niggas will go, man, I'm not sure if he talking about I have learned that the only way people can understand a diss or a shot is if a nigga's name is said. And then that lets me go, then you would not have ever understood a lot of hip hop to this point. Cause it's like some of the best beefs, battles happen through subliminal shots. It's like the Drake and Kendrick shit with subliminal shots until the final end. Are you telling me y'all couldn't catch it until like what are we doing, bro?
What did that supposed to mean? Can we break it down? Let's get to that.
So automatically you gonna think it's dissing?
Oh my God, T-Rail. Now, mind you, the game did send T-Rail the song, so it definitely feel like there may be a little trying to. So it's automatically dissing. When the nigga says the GNX scares the hoes, when he said he's riding with Drake, when he says choose a side, I pick homicide. All right, bro.
Hey, everybody else do. And then you do it. Okay, this is what I don't want. Fuck all that bit.
What side you gonna side with? They gonna choose homicide.
Yeah, but fuck all that, my nigga. I know what niggas are trying to do, and this is just my opinion. I don't give a fuck if a nigga don't like me or don't like me or fuck with me or don't. Shout out to the game though. But nigga, you're not finna get a Kendrick reaction. That's all niggas want is a dot reaction. Bruh, I talk.
If he wanted a dot reaction, he would just diss dot.
Nah, niggas ain't that.
This is that gaslight where I go, if he wanted a dot reaction, he would just diss dot. T-Rail. You know, Game has quite literally said if Kendrick just say something, he'll jump out and he's ready. Like, he said this outside of rap. But, like, I don't get this, bro. I literally don't get it. This is like, why are we I called this, though. I knew this would happen.
Stupid.
He'll just diss that. If he wanted a dot reaction, he'll just keep going at him.
I talked to Dot.
If he would just keep going at him. Because we know he ain't gone at him in any way. It's not like in this album he's shooting at him multiple times.
Niggas ain't doing no reactions or none of that, man. So niggas ain't getting no clip. Yeah, man.
They said Dot finna be in the studio with
Dot been in the studio.
He said he been in the studio with Game. That's what Wax said.
He said what?
He finna be in.
Now, we're going to talk about that later, but we're going to see what happens. So Dot's in the studio, this, that, and the third. Now we're going to watch a little bit of this, too, because right after the Game dropped his diss track, there's some people out here who not playing the both sides and not pretending like we didn't hear what they said. AZ Chisel, Chuck E. Cheese, Checkin' Cheese, Chizzy took his song off his feature off the Game album after that song dropped because he riding with, and it makes sense because, you know, the break that he got from GNX, what TDE, what Kendrick has done for him. This is what I respect. It's just like, it's not that difficult, but here we go. Whack 100 ranting. Let's go.
Listen, AZ Chikes, a.k.a. Ass Cheeks. You just pulled a weird move. You had the song with YG and Lefty Gun playing yourself snatched down off the Documentary 3 album. Hey, bro, I'm going to be real. I had been told Game to replace you with Mark Lux. He way harder than you anyway. Don't nobody really know who you are.
Okay, let's just stop right there. This is definitely the same energy of when you try to get that girl number in the club and she said no and you say she ugly anyway. Respect to the Mark dude that he said. Respect. Maybe you live in a LA bubble, like a Compton bubble, Cali bubble. But I'm going to tell you right now, in my experience of being outside at post GNX, AZ Chike is way more famous than whoever you just said. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know if you even believe what you're saying. I don't know if you're just trying to disrespect him. But I don't know what's, and I'm not trying to disrespect homie either, but Packed Up is in the rotation right now. I don't know what other song you're talking about, but to say niggas don't know who AZ Chike is, then why would you have to get on this live and make this video? If this was somebody that don't nobody know who he is, then why would you need to come on here and make this video? You see how you just contradict yourself? Clearly, he's important. And clearly he's so important that just him taking his verse off, you had to make a whole video about it, even though there's, according to you, 2 other people on it. So we're not going to keep this going. Clearly, this is just, I wanted the baddie, and she turned me down, and then you called her ugly. Because it's like, come on, guy. You did a whole video. And so, yes, you care. And he's important. Now, here is the Game. Seems like a little bit, another rant after everything dropped. Let's see.
Own homies to take Nip on tour.
How is he taking the backlash?
Own homies to take Nip on tour. But I can't seem to get in touch with Black Sam to holler at him though. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I put Kendrick on his first mixtape. I took Kendrick on tour. I show Kendrick nothing but love. But I can't get on the phone with a nigga. I ain't gonna call a nigga every day. I ain't no hoe. I'ma just let you know that it ain't no static, so you hear it from my voice, so niggas ain't between us. Top dog, I can call on the phone. I can call niggas, and everybody know that I ain't holding my tongue for nobody. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Cause what's the worst that can happen to a nigga on this planet? He gonna die, but ain't that the inevitable? Nobody living, nothing living, not a flower, not a fucking roach, not a butterfly.
Is that Gina Views?
Nothing living will leave here alive.
All right, so, which is true, but the game. Let me just say something. Somebody who's watched you your whole career, somebody who looked up to you, as somebody who tried to. I used to try to when I rap. I try to cock my face like Game used to cut. Like I used to, bruh. As somebody who taught me a little bit of my bop. Let me really talk to Game for a second. I don't know if he want. This is just in a way, right? Not on some Duncan, not on some da-da-da. Game. Because this video is about how he feels that he can't get in touch with Nip. He can't get in touch with Kendrick, even though he did stuff with him early. And if you extrapolate this thought, this is Game's biggest chip on his shoulder in general. He feels like he does not get the love back he feels that he's given. He feels like he should be in a different position or looked at differently in his career than he is where he is for what he's done. As someone's the Game, you got to think, he probably only thinks about all the losses. Like, after all I did, I can't go to the Aftermath Super Bowl, the West Coast Super Bowl. I don't go to the West, I can't go to West Coast Pop Out. I'm really looking kind of like the West is against me, and it's been like that his whole career, bro, when he came out with G Unit. But let me just run down, as somebody who's been watching your whole career, let me run down something with you, Game, and let me tell you why it feels like you always can't go back to the things that you created. Let me just start this out. All right. So let's start out with Yuck Mouth, right? Yuck Mouth and you got into certain situation because Yuck Mouth felt like you weren't riding for the West when you went with G Unit, right? So that's one. So y'all back and forth dissed. You got a song, and then you guys were supposed to squash it. You got on a song after he laid a verse and then dissed him on top of it again. So boom, 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 some kind of grimy stuff, right? So he kind of dissed you for feeling like you were being disloyal against the West. Boom. Now you could say, well, I was riding for my team. Cool. So we go, well, we'll shoot him some bail because he was riding for G Unit. That's the people who signed him. Even at the time, I remember people were still looking at you like, this is why we don't feel like you for the West. When you come out, you wearing big pellies and jackets, and you in New York, we look at you more like New York, and you sign with G Unit. Cool. That's what they're saying. So then we go give him points because he was riding with his team G Unit. And then all of a sudden, the Jadakiss, Fat Joe, Ja Rule stuff happens. And then the same people we gave you the points for riding with, you don't ride with. Now you fall out with 50 Cent and G Unit for what? Disloyalty, correct? That's 2. For riding with what deemed supposed to be your side, you're riding against, right? Cool. So with that, now you fall out with Dr. Dre, you fall out with Eminem. Now understand, this is somebody who has an album called The Doctor's Advocate. And if I'm not wrong, I don't think Game has ever had a Dr. Dre beat of his own. There's a reason for that, right? So you got to ask yourself why Dr. Dre and all of them pushed back and went like this too, right? So you fall out with the entire Aftermath camp for that. Cool. Then guess what happens? An artist named Kendrick Lamar comes with the TDE crew. Dr. Dre, Eminem, swoop him in, embrace him as family. So now he's a part of the Aftermath family too. Guess what? That is your in back to the Aftermath family. That's your in back, right? When you giving Kendrick the crown, with Snoop and them, that's your in. TDE, Kendrick say, you know what? Y'all might not be cool, but we ride with him. He the West Coast, we the West Coast. Cool. Then guess what happens to them? You choose Drake. then you choose Drake. So the question is, at a certain point, and I know that you're not ever going to convince yourself you're the problem because it's you, right? And Game does this his whole career. The hip hop broke my heart. At a certain point, you have to stop and go, is there a pattern in my behavior that allows people to look at me like I'm disloyal or look at me in a certain way? Let's not even say if you are or not. Just go, is there a certain pattern? Why can I never go back after the bridge? I cross the bridge because you burn it. Because you burn it, gang. So you have to, and everything else is everybody having to show their, actually the fact that you're not like an outcast or an albatross in the game is because of people's respect for you. The fact that people are still trying to act like, did he diss Kendrick? Is because of their respect for you. It's because how we respect you, game. I'm going to tell you right now, for the respect that I even have for the game, other people, I would have clowned way worse for what he be doing. But it just goes, and I still to this day go, I still believe if Drake and the Game and Drake, I mean the Game and Kendrick got in a battle, that would be Kendrick's most smoke he's ever gotten. I'm disappointed when you drop this song with Drake and it's like, and all you say, GNX scaring the host. Same thing with the Black Slim Shady. You come out and you say Dr. Dre never helped you. Then you go, oh, Kanye West helped you more than Dr. Dre. You do things where, I just think Game, not to diagnose him, I'm not a doctor, but I think he's bipolar. I think he's he's got something in his head, and when he has his episodes, he goes on to social media, or there's an camera in his face, and he'll just say anything, and then he has to double back on it. So it's just like, yeah, man. So then this is going to have AZ Chike pull his song. So then wherever AZ Chike goes, you basically burn that bridge. AZ Chike could be the biggest nigga in the West 3 years from now. So it's just like, that's what happens. And it comes to a certain point where I do kind of feel bad for the Game because I feel like I'm trying to say it's the nicest way I can. I feel like he's got mental health problems. And I felt this for a long time. I felt this since The Doctor's Advocate. Since the rollout of The Doctor's Advocate. And I was the biggest Game fan. I was literally like, is Game hot? I was one of them niggas that saw the hip hop broke my heart t-shirts and I went, nah, something going on with my nigga JC on. So this is what's going to happen, bro. Like, you cannot, at a certain point, it just seems like you habitually always choose the side that people think you shouldn't be choosing. I don't know if you're just trying to be a contrarian, but it's like, yeah, bro, you gonna keep wondering why you can't get these niggas on the phone. You feel me? And do I think there's some real, beef, drama between Kendrick and Game? No. I think it's just hip-hop stuff. That's why I'm just like, y'all could just rap. Y'all know that, right? Like, Game, you could just kind of diss him for real. Like, you already diss him with the GNX scaring the hoes, but like, you don't got to. And I'm sure Kendrick going, I don't believe there will be a dedicated Game diss, but I do believe he's going to say something that's going to. So, hey, you doing more stuff that looks like the West ain't liking, bro. So it is what it is.